Hi, I'm Barry from Rock Solid, and today I'm going to give you my 5 best exercises for working your core. So exercise number 1, we're going to be on the floor and we are going to be doing the plank, the good old-fashioned plank. So what we're going to do, we're going to come into this position, we're going to place our elbows directly under our shoulders and we're going to place our feet together on the floor behind us. And all we're going to do, we're going to lift our legs up so we've got a nice straight line going through from the top of our head all the way down to our toes and to our ankles, and we're going to hold it there. But the most important part with this one is we don't just hold that position, we actually engage our core. So we're going to lift up our pelvis, we're going to contract the pelvis floor, so the muscles that stop us having a wee. So we're going to breathe out when we do it. So we're going to, and when we breathe out, we're pulling our abs in, and we're going to hold them in nice and tight. So watch this way. So we're going to come into this position, and we're going to go. Breathe in, hold our tummy tight, breathing out. So it's all about the breathing when we're doing it. So we're contracting the muscles, we're pulling our core upwards, pulling our belly button inwards, and we're breathing with it, we're contracting our pelvic floor. So it's not just holding ourselves in that position, we've got to do a lot more things as well. So that is my first exercise. My second exercise is with a gym ball. So let me go and grab one. So we've got the gym ball here, and the first exercise on the gym ball is just going to be sitting on there, making sure we've got nice tall head. So we're lifting up our chest, we're pulling our core in nice and tight, and we're just going to lift our feet off the floor and we're going to balance on the gym ball. But it's really important that I pull my head up to the ceiling and I'm not scooch down like so, because this is just me sat on the ball. I'm not actually firing my core. So we're sitting up nice and tight, we're pulling that core in, holding our chest up, and I'm working that core muscle. So I'm just playing around with my balance. As you can see, I can move from side to side, front or back. And if you want to progress with that, you actually roll the ball forwards, and we can actually go onto our knees, or we can actually come up onto the ball and balance on all fours. Just be careful with the equipment around you, don't know crashing or banging your heads. But this is really good. But it's really important that I actually work my core. So I'm lifting my head up nice and tall, lifting my chest up, pulling my abs in nice and tight, lifting up my pelvic floor, holding it there, and then I start challenging it by moving around. You can write your name on the floor, do the alphabet, anything you want, just making sure it's moving around. Because the thing with the core is it needs challenging. And if we just do things like the plank's a really good exercise, but it's very static. And our core is designed for actually helping us control everything else. So if we start moving around and start challenging it in different planes of motion, we're going to get a much more stable core. Because it's when we pick up a pen or we do something where we're not preparing for it, it's when we tend to get injuries. But if our core is nice and strong when we're doing all these different functional movements, we're less likely to get any injuries from that. So let's start challenging our core now. And the next exercise we've got is still going to be with the ball, and we're going to do what we call some rollouts on it. So we're on the floor and we've got the ball out in front of us, okay? All we do is place our hands on the ball and we're just going to contract our abs nice and tight, or contract our core nice and tight. We're pulling it in, pull up the pelvic floor, engage it, and then we're just going to roll forwards into an elongated plank there, hold, and then we pull back using our core muscles. We roll it forwards, all the way out, as far as you feel comfortable, and coming in. If you're feeling really brave, you can take your hands down a little bit further, and we're going to roll out even further, keeping our head in that neutral spine, abs in nice and tight, and then we pull it back. Let's go a little bit further. So we're going to come out, nice long stride now, all the way down, pulling it in, and back we come. So it's a really good exercise for all levels. For beginners, we're just going to go here, rolling it out. But we are getting used to actually moving off that one spot. Advanced, as you can see, we can go as far out as we want to. But yet again, we are moving off the spot, creating a challenging environment for our core to adapt. Because we have to challenge it for it to adapt. So that's exercise number 3. Let's look at exercise number 4. For exercise number 4, we're going to do a variation on the plank. So this time we're going to come into the side plank. So we're going to start here. Let's move so you can see. So we're going to start here. We're going to have our feet together and we're going to have a straight line from our knees, from our ankles to our knees, to our hips, up to our shoulders, and all the way down to this elbow. And we're going to lift our body up, so we've got a straight line coming down. We're going to take this hand in the air, we're going to look up to this finger, and we're going to follow this finger with our head. So we're going to come down, rotate under, tap behind, and then we're going to come back up, follow the hand with our head, and back up to there. Keeping the core tight, remember we must engage that first. Follow it round, and under, and then we're going to come back. Down, follow it under, pass it through, and then come back. Most important is we do the same on the other side. So, elbow comes underneath the shoulder. A nice straight line coming all the way through the body. We're going to pop ourselves up, take the hand up and look up to the ceiling. We're going to take the hand down, pass it through, look behind. Then we're going to come back up, reach up to the ceiling. Keeping the core tight, we come down, we turn our body under, come back, reaching it up. So that's what we call rotational side plank, and that's our exercise number 4. Now we're going to look at our 5th and final core exercise. So the 5th and final exercise today is either going to be using a cable or we can use one of these bands. They're both really good, depends on what you've got. So I'm going to start off by using the cable. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here, we're going to pull the cable with the D handle into our stomach. So there's tension already on that cable. It's wanting to pull me back. And from here, nice soft knees, feet facing forwards, core starts tight. Pelvic floor's coming up, and we're going to hold that there. And then we're going to push our hands forwards, engaging it, and bring it back in again. Breathe in, breathe out. Keeping this contracted nice and tight. Because all the time that is wanting to pull us back into there, okay? But our core, remember we're going to challenge it by doing directional movements. As that comes further out, the lead arm's longer, so the weight is going to be heavier and it's going to want to pull me back in harder. So we've got to control that. So from here, push forwards and come back in again. If you haven't got a cable, but you've got TheraBands or your resistance bands, all we're going to do is we're going to tie that to a door or to whatever you can tie it to, and we're going to have this here. So it's the same principle. Create resistance on the band, and then we're going to push forwards, bring it back in. Keeping this tight, pulling it in. Remember, we pulled it in, chest stays up proud, pelvic floor pulls up. We're going to push it out, bring it in. Push it out, bring it in. So they are our 5 top core exercises for today. And if you like what you see, just give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments about what we've done today, any questions about how to do them, or anything you want, just stick them in the comments box below. I read every single comment and I will get back to every single comment on there as well. And if you really like what you see, hit the subscribe button, help us support this channel, and then we can start bringing a lot more videos to you.